You're listening to the Open Books Podcast.
Your next chapter starts now.
Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is she the one?
Welcome back to episode 6 of the Open Books Podcast. I'm Amber.
And I'm Colby, and thank y'all so much for being here again to join us for this episode discussing the book Archer's Voice. I know we have a lot to say about this one,
For sure.
so I think this might be a lengthy episode, and I'm really excited.
Get your snacks.
Get y'all snacks. We have a lot to catch up on even
We
before
do.
that, so I'm going to leave the timestamp of when we start the book discussion for the people who are just here for the book analysis, but we do have a lot to say before then. We have to catch up on some things.
Yeah, so you got to hang out with us for a while.
Yes, you won't regret it. Okay.
You will not regret this.
So let's jump into the recap.
Yes.
What's been going on with you?
So I've been doing well. I'm finally feeling like myself again
Mhm.
after what felt like a very brutal
Yes.
summer.
hmm
I've been
You were like so busy this summer too. Like you just didn't stop.
didn't stop.
So
And
many
then
work things, so many work obligations you had.
I did have a lot of work,
Mhm.
which I enjoy,
hmm
but it was definitely non-stop. So I've really been taking time for the mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
It really does help.
Yeah.
It sounds so woo-woo, but I really do live my life that way.
Woo woo.
It's a little woo-woo.
But I love that. I can't wait for you to start breaking down that more. Like I want to hear
Yeah.
more about what you do and what are your little rituals and things
I
like
would
that.
love to. I'll throw some stuff together for our next
Yeah.
episode
Yeah,
just
we
so I don't miss anything.
Maybe we can even do a mini episode about that.
It would be
that would
really
be
fun.
really
And let me tell
interesting.
you, it might not be a mini episode
You
because
gotta
I would have to like tell myself to shut up about
you
it.
got a lot to say.
Got a lot to say about that. Just kind of like getting back into the mindset, going back to work, gearing up for year 2 as,
Mhm.
instructional coach and kind of knowing more of my
Mhm.
role and what
Yeah.
I'm doing to help everyone with that and getting ready for Motion by Millie, doing
Oh
my
yes.
instructing. So
Pilates
I'll be,
instructing.
yeah, Pilates instructing. So I will be instructing 2 to 3 days a week
Mhm.
in the evenings. So I'm very excited about that.
That's so awesome. I can't wait to be in your class.
I know, I'm excited. Everyone
Um,
come to my class.
Come to my class.
Come
I'm
to my
also
class.
like nervous. Not yeah, I'm nervous because I'm not a workout girl.
Mhm.
I would love to be, and I hope I can become one with this.
Oh,
But like,
absolutely.
so hard to get into the swing. But
Mhm.
here's the thing, because I've had like many phases of like being active and in the gym, and then not. Once you
Yeah.
like break past that like what 2 week mark,
Yeah.
it becomes more of like a hobby, something you want to do. But it's so hard to get to the gym and like become focused on just going
Mhm.
on keeping a schedule of being in the
Yeah.
gym. It's fucking hard.
It's definitely discipline, but I
Yeah.
think once you get into the routine and the habit of going,
hmm
then it becomes the reward. Like how
So
good you
true.
feel after, that's your reward.
And you like chase that feeling, so you want to
Yeah,
keep going. It makes it like exciting.
exactly.
So I'm ready to get past that point.
Right.
And then like the really sore point from when you first start and you
Mhm.
like literally can't move. You're like walking like a
It's
robot
such a
'cause
good
it hurts.
feeling though.
It
Don't you
is.
love that feeling?
Yeah, it hurts so good.
It hurts so good.
Well,
Well,
that's all good stuff.
yeah, how have you? What have you been up to?
Same thing. I feel like we've been with each other a lot lately.
Yeah,
Like just there's been a lot going on.
it has been.
But same thing, just like gearing up for really the school year now.
Yeah.
Like the summer's coming to an end and now year 5 of teaching is starting.
Year 5.
So just getting ready for that. Like I've been in my classroom a lot, setting it up. It's such a process to set up your classroom.
It is. And we could do a whole mini episode on that
No,
too.
really, really. On like all the different things that the
Yes.
essentials.
The
But it's
essentials.
like it's kind of like my most exciting feeling going into this year, I guess because I'm not like a rookie anymore at teaching.
Mhm.
So kind of like I'm still kind of new, but year 5,
Yeah, but by year 5, you honestly by like year 3,
year
I think
3.
you get
Mhm.
such a confidence. So by
Yes.
like year 5, like you know your
Yeah, I got some
curriculum.
experience under my belt.
You do. You
So I
really
feel
do.
good going into it like that.
That is awesome.
Well, that's it for me, really.
That's it. Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's share some good news. What do
Okay.
you have?
Well, August is such a fun, I was about to say month for
It
my
might
family.
it might flash by like it's a week.
Yeah, we literally were all born in August. It's so crazy.
Your
Mm,
whole family?
Yeah, pretty much. It's crazy. Me, you're gonna die when I tell you. Me, my mom, my stepdad, my real dad, my grandma, both my grandparents, both my grandma, my
No
mom Rose,
way.
and my Grammy. There's like way more. And Matt, we're all, and my
Y'all are
husband,
all
all August.
August.
So we always do like a big August celebration.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
You just do one
Yeah, I mean,
big.
yes, usually. Like we have been in like recent years doing like one celebration, but this year we're having a luau at my parents' house.
Fun.
Yeah, because they just got a pool, one of those like above ground ones.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
telling
yeah.
you. So we're doing a luau for our
That'll be
August
fun.
birthdays. Yeah.
That'll
So
be
that's
really
my good
fun.
news. I have a lot of birthdays coming up, including mine.
Well, that's all good things.
Yes. What is your good news?
My good news is that tomorrow I'm going to see Shania Twain.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
With who? What are you doing?
Me, Millie, and Brooke are going.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Millie was like, "Hey, Shania Twain's coming.
Why not?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go, girls. Let's go have a girl night.
girls." Dun, 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 dun. So
Dun, dun.
that'll be us
That's so cute.
tomorrow. But I guess when this goes up,
Whoops.
oopsie, sorry, it'll be
Yeah,
today.
Monday.
But you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be like today.
Today.
When our
When you-
listeners are listening,
It's today.
it'll be today, Monday.
So I'm excited about that.
That's going to be really fun. Kind of
Yes.
jealous. That
I'll
kind of
send you-
leads me into something I did want to mention, like, because we said you're talking about concerts.
Yeah.
And it's just this, like, really hurtful internal struggle that I have right now. And it's that I can't go to the Taylor Swift Eras tour.
Oh
And
my
this-
gosh, I know.
It hurts. And this has been something I've been struggling with even before we had our fabulous little mini star on for our mini episode last week.
Y'all,
No, this week.
that was this week.
Yeah, we're turning out 2 episodes a
Y'all,
week.
2 episodes. Who are we?
We're kind of like professional.
And we had a celebrity.
No, she was actually a celebrity.
Who are we?
But I have been like just really sad because it's so crazy how hard it has been to get tickets for that concert. And me and Matt look all the time. You would
Yeah.
literally have to spend an outrageous amount of money. Like you can't do it to go
Yeah.
to this concert.
Yeah,
And now she's like going like international, global, so it'd be like even more. So I'm just living through TikToks. But I
Yeah.
did tell you that if Justin Bieber was to have an Eras tour,
Okay, we would have to
we would have to make it work.
like start fighting people.
Oh, no,
for-
100 with throwing hands.
We are you can catch these fists.
Fight me. I would do what Lindsay did and sit in the queue for like
Yes.
I would sit for days.
Yeah.
No sleep.
Could you imagine
No, I literally can't. Cause I'm dying just thinking
From-
about that.
baby Justin now?
No, because I'm such
That
a
would probably
Justin
be
Bieber
such
freak.
a fun concert.
Yeah, it would. So you never know. He might.
He really might. He might see the success that Taylor Swift is having.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody else has the Eras Tour blues, though, let me know.
Yeah.
If you're just living through
Sound
TikTok.
off in the comments.
Sound off in the comments. Are your feelings hurt that you just have to watch through TikTok? Because mine are.
That's where we are.
Okay. Any other good news?
That's all I have. Do you have
Yeah.
any more?
No, just like exciting new school things coming up. But that's
for
really
sure.
it.
Same here.
Okay. Oh, okay. Currently watching.
I have been waiting.
Me too. but I've been wanting to text so
waiting.
much about this, but I've been waiting for the pod. Heads up to our listeners. We are spoiler heavy in this podcast.
We are, and
It's because we want to talk about what we're watching and things. So, like, if you want to watch the things that or if you haven't seen yet, just skip ahead. But we are spoiler heavy because we want to shoot the
This is
shit
how
about
we
the
catch
shows.
up.
Yeah,
we are truly just shooting
shooting the shat.
shooting the
and the
shat,
shit.
chatting the shat.
That makes me think of what we're about to talk about, which is
know, I
Love
had to.
Island. Because have you ever seen that one viral clip
Which
from Love
one?
Island when he's like, sit down, she's like, I'm sad.
I'm sad.
I'm sad.
Is that Whitney?
I don't know.
Was it Whitney?
No, because it's an older season, but she's like, I'm sad.
I'm sad.
But we have to talk about Whitney. Let's just talk about Love Island because the last
Ooh.
time we talked, I was watching Love Island and you had only seen episode 1 of the UK season 10. So where are you right now in your Love Island journey?
Sorry, I had a mic malfunction.
Mic malfunction.
I am Amor, Casa Amor,
Yes.
and the Villa just came back together and
Okay.
they did their recoupling.
Got it. So you're really pretty far. I'm only a couple episodes ahead.
Yeah. So, well, I didn't want to watch anything while Josh was out of town.
Oh, so he's in this with you.
He-
Y'all are in this
he is now.
together.
I've got a text.
I've
He's
got a
back.
text.
I've got a text. So he watches with me now,
Love it. Oh my God.
and we are obsessed.
Love Island will do that to you. Like I completely take over their lingo. I'm so
Oh,
glad that we have this to talk about though, because Matt he doesn't watch. Like I just me watching it.
well, Josh wasn't watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, you have to sit down. So Millie and Avery watch it together.
Okay, love
He
it.
started watching it because she was watching it, right? And I'm like, Josh, like, you don't know what you're missing out on.
It's hilarious.
It
Like
is
it's
so
so
funny.
good.
Quality content.
Quality content.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So he started watching it, and I knew he was going to be hooked on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched together.
Love it. So y'all have a great few nights ahead of y'all to catch up.
I've been waiting.
So I do wonder, I guess I could look this up too. I wonder how far the US is like on Hulu, like how far back we are from like what it is live. Because I do find myself getting things spoiled for me because like I'm my FBI agents in my phone know
yeah.
that I'm watching Love Island. So it pops up on my TikTok like little
Yeah.
clips of things that I haven't seen yet because it's
Yeah.
not at the US yet.
I
'Cause-
have so many funny TikToks to send you, specifically surrounding Medi.
Medi, where are you at in your Medi journey? What's he doing?
gone.
He gone. Okay,
He
just making
gone.
sure. He needed to go. Okay.
He was a little just.
He was a sassafras.
He was too sassy.
Yes.
And I like Whitney a lot.
I love
I
Whitney.
do like Whitney.
Yeah.
It's giving baddie.
It's giving bad bitch.
It's giving bad bitch.
She's so funny.
She is.
She
Okay.
would she would vibe with us like
How do we? She really would.
Mm-hmm.
How do we talk about Love Island? Like, I don't even know. Like, I want to go through every single person. I want
I
to give
know.
a character analysis.
I
like,
know, and it would
but
take.
we can't. It would take too long.
You know what? We could just do a Love Island mini episode, like a
could.
recap. So if any of y'all love Love Island, or want to talk about this with us, that'd be a good episode idea.
It's a really good episode idea.
Mhm.
Y'all have to go watch it.
Yeah, it's
Go
so good.
watch it.
The reason really why I love it, okay, I love a good reality TV show and like a love show or whatever, matchmaking, whatever show. But I love the UK of it all. Like I
Yes,
love,
everything. The can I
Mhm.
pull you for a chat?
yeah. There's so can I pull you for a chat? There's so many things that they say that I'm just obsessed with.
Only say, can I pull you for a chat?
And do you ever catch on how much they say? Obviously, they say it like every
Obviously.
other thing. Like, well,
In it.
obviously,
In it.
in
In
it,
In it.
and it's like I compare what our phrases
It's
are
so.
because we
It's
say
just cute.
so cute.
I'm like, y'all are having these heavy conversations, but you're precious. Like,
Mhm.
how are y'all mad at each
I
other?
know. They're like, she's proper cute, eh?
She's
Isn't it?
we're having a proper chat.
A proper
Okay,
chat.
before we move on though,
Mm-hmm.
can we share our number one
Yes.
top pick
Mm-hmm.
on 3?
Okay. Wait, you mean who we think are going to be the winners, or who?
No,
we...
like who's our number one man
our number one man. All right,
on
let me
the
think.
island?
Okay, I know who mine
Mi-
is.
I know who mine is too.
Okay, you ready?
1, 2, 3.
Tyreek.
Zach.
Oh no, I thought you might have said Tyreek.
No,
Here's the
Tyreek's
thing.
in my top 3 though.
Okay, here's the thing. I love Zach too.
Yeah.
Tyreek's just got like that charisma. I love he talks
He's-
so fast. I have no idea what he's saying.
No
but
idea.
He's so gorgeous. His eyes
I was
twinkle.
gonna say his eyes.
They
It's his eyes.
I love Zach
But
too. He's so hot.
Zach has that like.
Mhm.
What am I looking for?
He's a cool guy. Like
He's just got it.
He's got
like
it.
the way he rubs his chin. I'm like,
Oh
he's
my
my
God.
number one.
I love you, but we have to talk about Molly because what do you think
Molly.
about Molly? I have two different thoughts about Molly.
At first, I don't know. It's so weird.
It is.
I don't dislike Molly,
Mm-hmm.
but Molly, clearly she's like an essential,
Mm-hmm.
important person on the island.
she's a main character.
right? She
Yeah.
definitely is like a main person,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here or there. Like Molly's just on the island. She's
I-
in the villa.
Yes, I felt like that about her too. She's been like weird since she got dumped and then came back.
Yeah.
She's kind of had like a weird attitude about her, and I saw somebody say this and I was like, yeah, it is weird to have somebody come back because they've already been on the outside and like watched everything and they have like an outsider's perspective now.
Right.
They see like what the world thinks of them. So she
Yes.
has probably come back and maybe changed things about her. based off of what she knows people
That's
like.
such a good
Yeah,
point.
so it's weird to bring people back who have already been like they're literally secluded on this island. Then she got to go home, I'm sure she watched the
Which I
show.
also think is so crazy that they get to watch. Like, even when the new boys came into Casa Amor,
Yeah, they've
I'm
been
like, you get to
watching.
watch it. I
I
just feel
know.
like usually you don't get to watch. Like, you just come in blind.
No,
Or maybe I'm wrong.
no, I think that's why Love Island is like so great because it's like so messy.
It's
Like
so real.
it's so real and like the turnout of how they produce episodes. Like they literally produce them or put them out days after.
I know. Do
So
you watch
good.
the unseen bits?
Okay, yeah, because people hate the unseen bits.
I don't watch the unseen bits.
The reason why I watch them is because like it's less of just like the can I pull you for a chat and like
Mhm.
because I feel like a lot of Love Island is just them talking in circles about their feelings, but like you don't
Yes.
see their feelings because really if you think about it, we're just getting 1 hour of a 24-hour day,
Right.
so we don't see them like getting to know each other. They just talk about how they're getting to know each other.
Right.
So the unseen bits is more like actually them interacting. So it's like funny.
Maybe I should watch the
Yeah,
unseen
it's funny. You get to
bits.
see the girls in the dressing room like shooting the shit and singing songs and putting their
Yeah,
makeup on and stuff.
yeah.
So that's fun. It's fun to watch. So I know if you don't watch Love Island, you're probably like, oh my god, bitch, shut up.
Stop talking about it.
But it's so good. So if you do want to, we'll do a mini episode on
Yeah,
it.
because that really would be fun.
Yeah, to break down the characters, and, like analyze
Yes.
everything. Who do we think's gonna win? Like, what's our theories?
Yes.
That's a let's
That's a good one. Let's
table it.
that.
Jinx once again. We're gonna table that one.
We're gonna table that.
Anything
Okay.
else you watched?
Not really.
Okay, well then I'm gonna just do my honorable mention to The Summer I Turned Pretty
Oh
because
yeah, I
and I've
meant to
been
watch
trying to
that.
get Amber to watch this friggin' show, and you will do it. I know you will.
I will.
You
But
just
it's
gotta find the
because then I
time.
got so hooked on Love Island that I
Mhm.
couldn't stop watching it.
And Love Island has so many episodes. Like it's gonna take you a
Y'all,
while.
I'm on like episode 38
I
or
know. And
39.
you have probably at least 20 more.
I know.
It
It's so
goes. It's like a 3-month
crazy.
show, and they show you like every night.
Yeah.
So I'm on my Summer I Turned Pretty train. Obsessed. I did not read the books, so don't come for me. I get it. Like people who read the books feel some type of way, and I get it. I would too.
My
If I
sister read all of them.
well, she probably
She
feels
probably feels some type
she
of
probably
way.
feels some type of way because she's like people. I'm sure because I would be like that if I read the books and then people were like hyped over a show, but they didn't read the books. I'd be like, you don't even know the half of it. But it's just so good. It's literally just like a Taylor Swift song in a TV show. Like it's just wholesome.
So aesthetic though.
It's so aesthetic. It's so like beach beautiful. Like the teenagers are gorgeous.
It's one of my favorite settings.
Yes, like a beach
Beach
house summer
house, yeah.
thing. It's got heart. It's cringy, of course. It's a little cheesy, but it's not too cheesy that you can't watch it. Like
Right.
it's got like enough plot and
Mhm.
like real heart to it and like grief and drama that
Yeah.
like it's more than just like teenager cringy, but
Yeah.
that definitely exists in it.
I have to find some time.
You will love it. And it's just like I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 episodes a
That's
season.
not
I don't know.
bad.
It's not like a
How
crazy.
long are they? How long are the episodes?
They're like long. They're like 45 minutes.
Oh,
But you can do it.
I can blow through that.
So that's where I am. And I'm
Okay.
Team Jeremiah. And if you know, you know. Most people who read
Well,
the
I
books.
don't know. So
Well, most
I
peop-
keep seeing stuff about it. I'm like, "Ugh."
You know what? I think I love it too. Ooh, this is what I want to say. I like have a thing for the brothers trope. Like two
Oh.
brothers when they love the two brothers and you have to pick between a brother, like Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries,
This book is kind
The
of like brothers
Archer's
trope.
Voice,
Yeah.
the Ravenhood series.
Yes.
But that was like a throuple.
So this is like the G version of the Ravenhood series. But yeah, it's like
we don't want it. Just kidding.
I know. The
Just
Ravenhood
kidding.
series. But yeah, it's like, it's the trope of like they got these two gorgeous brothers. How could
They're
you poss-
always gorgeous.
They're always gorgeous. They're
They're
always
always
in love with you.
gorgeous.
They both love you so much. One's like the bad boy, one's the sweet boy. They're both
Yes.
like in love with you.
And it's like undeniable love. Like
Mhm.
they'll fight anyone that looks at you.
Yes, literally. And it's like, how could you choose? Like, in
Of
Vampire
course I want you to beat people up for me. Of course I want you to dress me.
in Vampire Diaries, like the most famous line, and if you like, what did you watch Did you watch
I
Vampire
did.
Diaries?
I
Okay.
did.
Well, one of the most famous lines is, "It's okay to love them both," and
It's okay to love them both.
it is when it comes to the brothers trope. So that's another reason
And
why
it's
I
not
love.
like actual reality.
Yeah, exactly. Because in real life, like, yeah, okay,
Sis,
could never
you
happen.
can't love them both.
exactly. Okay, well, I think that's it for the book recap.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
I think so too. So that leads us into
The summary?
the summary. Archer's voice. Heads up on the summary. I think I mentioned this, of course, but like it's very spoiler heavy. It's meant to refresh readers on the book.
Mm-hmm.
We were just saying this, like, I already kind of forgot the book. I literally finished it maybe a week ago, not even that long ago, but it's so quick. Once you finish a book, at least for me, the details are just gone.
It does. They
Yeah.
it's crazy how fast.
I
And then
know.
you start thinking about like, oh, what's the next book I'm gonna read?
And then you just focus on that. So the summary
Mm-hmm.
is more like if you read the book, you want to refresh. And a lot of people don't read the books, but still listen to the pod, and it's kind of like a little storytelling time.
Yeah, like tell your friends,
Yeah. Tell them come over and listen to this story. It's a good one.
catch the summary,
Yeah, and then you
and
could be
hang out.
and you could be part of the analysis afterwards.
Right.
So spoilers, of course, but also if you're in the little book club with us, you probably read the book, so you already know what happened. Okay, so here it goes. This book is told from the perspective of our two main characters, Archer and Bree. They're both in their early 20s. Archer is a troubled and mysterious man. He's described as very tall, manly, and gorgeous. He has dark brown features, honey whiskey colored eyes, big muscles, and a toned body. He's a mute man, meaning he's unable to speak due to a trauma inflicted upon him when he was only 7 years old. He's a lonely man. He has no real family or anyone in his life to talk to. He lives in a little home with his dogs on a secluded land with its own lake. He spends most of his time working on projects around his house. Now we have Bree. She's a girl who's escaping her own trauma by moving to a quaint little town where she found a cottage by a lake to live in. So here's Bree's trauma. We're just going to get that out of the way. Her mom died from cancer when she was a child, so she lived with her father most of her life, and they were very close. Her father owned a deli, and one night a drug addict and a very unhinged man came in, shot and killed her father in front of her, attempted to rape her, and then got away. This man was never caught, at least at this point in the book. So she's described, this trauma is like what she's running from when she moves to the town. So she's described as dainty, beautiful. She's got emerald green eyes and long dark brown hair. She longs for peace as she deals with the PTSD and horrific flashbacks of that terrible night. After moving to the charming town of Pelion, is that how you said it in your head? Pelon?
Pelion?
Yeah, Pelion. It's in
Pelion?
Maine. This is a town that's far away from her hometown. She gets a job at a local cafe, of course, as a waitress. She meets some local girls. They become friends. She befriends her neighbor. And she kind of starts to like get a little life here. She's still kind of on her own at this point, though. So, on a trip to the pharmacy, she goes for some basic essentials. Bree runs into Archer for the first time when she drops her bag in a parking lot. A bunch of her items fall out, and then this, like, beautiful but unkempt and messy looking man, he comes over to help her. She tries speaking to him, but she gets, like, nothing in return. He just, like, runs away. So she was really taken by this interaction. She finds out that the man she ran into, named Archer Hale. He's mute, he speaks to nobody, he lives a closed off life. He's kind of like the town freak for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone is just like afraid of him. They think he's scary. Yeah, we have a lot to say. I
Yeah.
have a lot to say about that. There, no one knows anything about Archer other than like he was entangled when he was a child in like a scandal, and then
Mm-hmm.
he can't talk, and then the town just kind of hates him and forgot about him, and that's what happened. So we find out kind of in the beginning that when he was 7, his mother named Alyssa and his father named Marcus both died, and his uncle Connor shot him in the throat, causing the injury that left him unable to speak ever again. So after his family died, he was sent to live with his other uncle named Nate, who had issues of his own. Nate was very sweet but paranoid, and he isolated Archer even more, keeping him at their little house and never really venturing out into the world. So Archer never really went to school, had a normal childhood or teenage years. He taught himself sign language and whatever else he could along the way. Bree is intrigued by this whole story, and she actually runs into Archer's house while on a bike ride with her dog Phoebe. Phoebe jumps out of the bike's basket, runs into Archer's backyard, and here is where Archer and Bree officially meet. We find out that they both speak sign language. Bree knows it because her father is deaf. So after this meeting, the rest was really history for these two. Archer begins leaving his gate open as an indication that Bree can come inside. They start slowly as Bree earns Archer's trust. He isn't easy to let her in because he's never known anything ever, but over the many visits Bree gives to Archer, he begins to open up. They speak sign language to each other, they play with the dogs, they teach each other things, they take showers together, they go to the beach, they cook together, and they fall in love. So lots of things happen between them like this during the book. Bree gives him a very sensual haircut and shapes him
Oh
up.
yes.
We have to talk about the haircut. And then they have sex, like a lot of sex. They spend a lot of intimate time together. We get a lot of very intimate scenes between the two as she tries to teach Archer that there's much more to life than what he's ever known. Throughout their relationship, Bree suddenly stops having intense flashbacks and she's kind of like healed. So, side note, in the beginning of the book, Bree had a small fling with Archer's cousin named Travis Hale. He is the sheriff in town. He's the sheriff in this town. It doesn't go anywhere.
Sheriff.
It doesn't go anywhere though, because she shortly after that begins to hang out with Archer. She's way more into him. She kind of cuts Travis off. He turns out to be a real jerk. He even takes Archer out one night after him and Bree have a conversation where she asks Travis to kind of like rekindle a relationship with Archer. And he says, okay, sure, I'll do it for you. He picks up Archer, brings him to a strip club, puts him in a super uncomfortable situation where he was really confused, unable to speak up for himself. Things happen. So Travis's mother was a woman named Victoria Hale. She apparently owns the whole town of Pelion. She's really disliked by most people. She's extremely rude, arrogant, and bitchy. She plans to bring a lot of changes to the town that would bring in like more tourists and take away a lot of business. So like the locals there really just kind of hate Victoria Hale. And we find out that Archer's family, the Hales, have owned the town for decades. So through all this time spent together and through the stories Bree hears from people in town and Archer, we find out what happened all those years ago. So this is what happened. Marcus and Connor, who were Archer's father and uncle, were both in love with his mother, Alyssa. Alyssa was in love with Connor, though, who was kind and caring, but Marcus took advantage of her one night and got her pregnant with Archer. Because of this, Alyssa chose to stay with Marcus and become a family, though her and Connor never really stopped loving each other. Connor did end up marrying Victoria Hale, and then they had their son, Travis. Marcus was an abusive father and husband, always hitting on Archer's mother and coming home drunk and aggressive. Archer knew this about his father, and he tried to stay with his mom as much as he could. You could tell that he loved her very much, and he wished things were different. When Archer was 7 years old, Connor came to take him and his mother, Alyssa, away. He planned to drive them somewhere far away from Marcus so they could be a family. When the three of them are in the car, Archer, who's just a child, he feels happy and safe to be with his uncle Connor and his mom, as he calls her Mama, because it's like his little chapters as a kid. Marcus comes behind them, hitting their car from behind, causing a huge crash. Alyssa, Archer's mother, dies in the crash, leaving Archer and Connor vulnerable in the street. Marcus comes to the street, has a standoff with Connor, where we learn that Connor is actually Marcus's father. Marcus shoots the gun, hitting Archer in his throat, causing the injury that left him speechless. So it's actually Archer's father who gave him that injury. Connor rushes over to Archer, crying and holding him in his arms. In the midst of this chaos, both Connor and Marcus shoot at each other, causing them both to die, leaving 7-year-old Archer alone in the street. So suddenly, Victoria Hale shows up. She's screaming at Archer, saying, "This is all your fault." The next thing baby Archer remembers is waking up in the hospital without his mom or his dad and unable to speak. So Victoria Hale manipulated the whole thing. Archer even had a chance for a surgery to save his voice, but she ensured it didn't happen so he can never tell the real story. Victoria claimed that that Marcus was the one who shot Archer, and that Connor was the one who shot Archer, and that nobody besides Archer knew that Connor was actually his father. Though most people in the town knew deep down that something was really going on, that Connor probably really loved Alyssa, and that the fight between her is what ultimately caused them all to die, Archer was still kind of just left to fend for his own. No one in the town did anything to help him. They just kind of let it be. So now we're back in the present day. During a town parade, Travis and Victoria Hale come to the diner where Bree is working and overheard Bree on the phone with a detective talking about her father's case. The detective tells Bree that the man who was caught for killing her father has been let out on bail. Victoria uses the information to her malicious advantage and gives the murderer a tip-off of where Bree is. So this comes into play later. Archer and Travis get into a physical altercation later that day. Bree screams for them to stop, and then she blurts out that they're actually brothers. This causes Travis to get up and question his mom, Victoria, in front of everyone. Of course, she denies that Archer is Connor's son, but Travis can tell he's lying. So Travis kind of like changes his attitude in this incident. He kind of shuns his mother out, and this though makes Archer have the decision to leave town and cut Bree off. He recognizes that their codependent relationship is super unhealthy, so he leaves Bree with nothing but a note and goes on to see the world for 3 months. Once he realizes he's able to live on his own, he comes back to Bree, who has been waiting for him every day, slumped in a depression. She was at a party that two friends brought her to when Archer shows up. She leaves. Bree instantly forgives him, and then they go home together. So here's the end of the book. After Archer and Bree are back together, and over all of their drama, they're sitting at the diner when this crazy man walks in. It's the man who killed her father, and he knew where Bree was because Victoria Hale was the one who tipped him off. He's screaming at Bree that she's a bitch who ruined his life after giving him up to the police. He pulls out a gun and shoots at her, but of course, Archer is caught in the fire and shot. So we do think that Archer dies for like a couple minutes in the chapter, but then he ends up surviving the gunshot wound. I believe he was just like comatose, just unconscious.
Yeah.
So he does not die. Um, After all this, he's seen as a hero. The truth about what happened between the Hale brothers, Archer, and Victoria was out there, and then he's suddenly taken in by the people of the town. Archer earns the right to the town, so he like literally owns the town now. Victoria gives it up to him because Travis like lets her know that he knows that she's the one who outed Bree. So Victoria Hale runs away. Archer and Bree, through their own love story, like help each other heal, start a new life. We get an epilogue where we find out that 5 years later, Bree is pregnant. They have 2 twin boys together. Archer is like the owner of the town. Everyone loves him, and Bree's just living this beautiful, happy life. And the end. That's the end of the book.
Happily ever after.
Yeah. That
Thank
was
you,
a long
Colby,
one.
with the summary.
You're welcome.
I
That one.
needed that summary though.
It
'cause
did.
There were some things I was like, oh shit, that did happen.
Yes, and of course there's so much more, but that's just a
Right.
giant gist of the book.
Right.
That was a lot.
For sure. Are we ready to jump into our
Mm.
analysis?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm ready to talk about it.
So let's just jump right in.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 1. The novel is heavily centered around communication and connection. In what ways does Bree help Archer find his voice?
Okay. Well, we had a lot of listener responses
We
on this
did.
one, so we can pull those up. But of
Yeah,
course,
that's what I'll pull them up now. So
okay,
we have them.
perfect. So of course, Bree helped him find his voice throughout the whole book. Like I think that was the point of the whole book.
Right.
You know, their relationship and how they came together.
Mhm.
But I think that like just with her giving him the confidence that he needed,
Yeah.
was really what it was. Like her making him feel worthy and loved, and like feeling like his voice actually mattered. Because you could tell in the book that like he thought he was just a nothing nobody,
Right.
which I
Yeah.
understood why he thought that way. Literally, no one in the town cared
No,
or bothered.
They thought he was a handsome freak.
Yeah,
That freak is fun as fuck.
that freak is fun as fuck. But yeah, it's like so he was gorgeous, but no one wanted to talk to him.
Of course he was
But
gorgeous.
something funny I was thinking was like, do you think that Brie would have had such an interest in this like weird mute man if he wasn't so gorgeous? Like if the man had picked up all of her belongings in the grocery store, but he was like scary looking, she wouldn't have probably thought she would have ran
No.
away. But he was like this. He was
He was
beautiful.
beautiful. I think she would not
Yeah.
have paid him as much attention for sure.
Yeah,
He's such a unique character, and I
he
think
really
that's
is.
what drew me into him initially.
He is super unique.
But I agree 100% with you that the biggest way that Brie helped Archer find his voice was in his confidence and
For sure.
and just like nurturing his natural tendencies to want to take care of her.
Yes, that was so beautifully said. Wow.
Sometimes
It
I
just comes out.
sometimes I just I'm good at things like that. Not always. Words, like actual language.
But that is so true. She brought that out of him.
Yes, and we do have some listener
Yes.
opinions.
Yeah. Yeah. Thoughts.
So thoughts. That how we just said you're so good with words sometimes. No, I'm not. Let's see. So one of our listeners said that she felt like one of the ways she helped him find his voice
Mhm.
is just by getting him to accept his condition.
Yes. So
It's
true.
not his condition that needed to be healed, but he himself just needed to accept what happened and eventually learn to live with it.
Perfect. So true.
Another listener said, Bree did so much for his healing process. I think she helped raise his confidence so much and aided in him realizing that he didn't have to isolate himself and that he can still communicate with the outside world by signing and having someone translate for him. It's such a beautiful book. I cried so much.
Yeah. That is so true. And also when he finally got a cell phone by the end of the book, like when Bree went to town,
Oh my gosh.
and I know we're going to talk about the texting, but I also thought like, wow, it's just really sad that like he didn't have that all along because no one else was willing to like put any effort into him. But like
Right.
he had so many resources in the world that could have been at his disposal, but he
Gosh.
just never had the chance to.
I know. Their texts
So cute.
That was honestly might have been one of my favorite
I
parts.
think
Okay, we'll
think
get to that,
we will,
right?
we will.
Okay, is that a
But like,
takeaway?
damn, he could have had a cell phone his whole
I
time or computer or
know.
something. Get him
Poor
a computer.
baby.
Lord, he was just
He was pen and
I
paper.
know he was writing on a pen and paper.
I do love Archer.
Yeah, I think Archer was the best character, hands down,
By far.
for sure.
Okay, next question.
All right, I'm ready.
Archer's voice is set in the small town Pelion?
Yeah, Pelion.
Pelon.
Pilon.
Pelon.
That sounds like a
Y'all
Cajun
get it.
name.
Y'all get it.
Hold down in Pilon.
Y'all get it. How does the small town setting impact the characters in the story's development?
Okay, I loved the small town setting. In the beginning of the book,
Same.
we were literally texting like butterfly emojis because that's how the book made me feel in the beginning,
Yes.
with the setting of like the cute little quaint small town with so much character,
Yes.
like by the beach. Her neighbor Anne, Miss Anne, she just
I
like
just-
gave her a little some fresh tea and lemonade every
I know, she
day.
was so sweet.
Yes, she and her neighbor gave her a bike with a basket. It had so much like character to the town. So before things like went downhill for me in the book, which I will get into, I loved the setting of the book. And that did, I feel like the essence of the actual setting stayed throughout the novel. So that was something I really appreciated about it.
Yeah.
I really liked the setting.
And then I think that I feel like you mentioned this a lot. I feel like that small town setting forced the proximity between
Yes.
Archer and Bree
Mhm.
and the other characters.
Yeah.
There's only going to be so many people in the story that are intertwined,
Mhm.
right? That we can keep up with. Of course, everyone's hot.
Yeah. Of course they're all gorgeous.
Of course, Travis and Archer are sexy brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just feel like small town setting books are just more intimate in general.
Yeah, they are. They really are. There's such like a fantasy though, because like I'm just thinking like we live in a small
We live
town.
in a small
And
town.
it's nothing like that.
No.
Like at all. Like we just got like shit water, murky Mississippi River water down the street. Like
Yeah,
but
like,
everybody does know everybody, and there's something to
and it is homey.
it is homey.
It
and
is.
We definitely have like a community.
100%.
So there
we
is
have a
something to be
community,
said about like being in a small town.
for sure.
So I liked it. I loved it actually, the setting of the book.
I did love the setting.
Yes.
Okay. Archer is initially portrayed as fragile and isolated. How? Sorry about that.
Da-da-ding?
You know what that was? My affirmation.
Maybe you should read it for us.
I embrace peace and happiness.
Period.
Period.
We
Poo.
do.
Okay. Where was I? Oh, fragile and isolated. Yes.
Yes.
How does his vulnerability become his strength throughout the story?
Okay. So Archer grows so much throughout the story. By the end of the book, he literally owns the town. So, like, that's a
Talk
big
about
shift.
growth.
Talk about growth from having nothing and nobody to owning an entire town.
Yes.
So I would say that he grew. I think that one part that really bothered me about the book, and I know it did you too, was just like how Bree treated him like an actual 2-year-old though. Like he was fragile.
It
This man
killed
did not
me.
have like anybody or anything. Like he was fragile. He needed a lot to learn, but he was still a grown ass man.
Right.
And
I-
she treated him like an actual toddler.
I couldn't take that.
Yeah.
Y'all, the whole time we were reading this book, I was texting Colby, like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not your mother's money. You know, like,
what did you do with your mother's money?
like, the whole time she treated him like an infant.
Yes,
Like, he
like-
couldn't
he couldn't bathe himself.
do anything.
He couldn't
Right.
shower.
He can't put his clothes on. He's
Yeah.
been raising himself.
Exactly.
He's also, how old was he? 24? 23?
Yes.
No, he's grown. What are
Yeah.
you doing? So, y'all, my first thought, it's so weird to me how Bree babies Archer throughout the story. Duh, that aided to his fragility. Like,
Mhm.
you weren't helping him grow by babying him.
Right. That just makes him a little more fragile.
Yeah.
And like make him feel like he can't do this without you, which is a huge part
Yes,
of
and
the codependency of it all.
Absolutely. I think that made him feel small.
Yeah.
He might not have said it, but in his actions.
Yes, and he might not have really known any different either. Like he only knows what Bree
Right.
is teaching him. And I know her intentions were most likely good. Like she wanted to help him, but I was
Yeah.
just like, God, he's not an infant.
Right.
My silent, beautiful boy.
My silent,
Bree, shut the fuck up with that.
beautiful boy.
I can't.
Get out of
And I
here.
think, Amber, that this might be a hot take because I think a lot of our listeners and a lot of people who read this book and reviews that I have
Mhm.
seen loved like their relationship, and I did too. But
I
it was
did to an
just
extent.
to an extent, yeah. Like, I
just
felt like Brie was just so cringy.
all right, I have to read one text
Yes.
between Mildred and I.
Oh,
So
please.
we were reading, what is the book? Things We Never Got Over?
Yeah.
Y'all.
Things in which we do not say, leave
Things in
unfinished.
which,
One of those.
whatever. Y'all, I just can't with that book.
Because
So,
it gives like cringe times a million.
yes,
Yeah.
like the brothers were like Knox and Nash. And
Mhm.
that was the first thing I was like, no, 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 no.
How about no?
I'm thinking no. But Millie and I were reading that book together.
Mm.
And I finished the first one, and my girl read the next one.
Mhm.
But she texted me, and she said, my thoughts are all over the place. I said, send them in. She said, it felt like a less cringy version of Things We Never Got Over. I said, oh my gosh, that's such a good way to say that.
Yeah.
I said, but I was definitely cringing at some stuff in this book, Archer's voice.
Mhm.
And she said, I need to hear your thoughts because of the trauma from Things We Never Got Over.
That book
People
really
won't
did y'all
understand.
in.
It really did. She said, people won't understand unless they read it. I said, that book truly hurt to read.
Yes.
So it is something to do with
Mhm.
like romance books.
That, and you know what? I think that's it. And I think that's something that we are coming to realize as
Yes.
adult readers. And I think this is something probably a lot
and
of people can relate to, is
yeah.
you learn what kind of genres you enjoy,
Yes.
and you want to pick up books that you enjoy.
yeah.
And I think it might just be the romance of it all that's just not our favorite.
I don't know, because when I read the Ravenhood series, I was like, I can't
Mhm.
put it down. I'm obsessed. I love you.
I know. So maybe it's
But
just like type of writing. Maybe if it's just
it could be.
it's just like if it's too cringe, and I'm like, some shit that Archer said, I'm like, in what world would a man say this? In what
Oh,
world would a man say this?
I have to talk about that quote I sent you.
Yes,
Okay. Should we move on to the next question?
Yes,
Because
yes,
I feel
yes.
like we have so much for our takeaways.
definitely. And all of this bleeds into the following questions as well.
Yes. Okay. In the novel, Bree and Travis have a brief situationship. Describe your thoughts and feelings around this relationship.
So obviously Travis was a giant asshole, but in
Yeah.
the beginning, when they went on their first date, like, you didn't really know he was that much of an asshole yet.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of shipped at first because he was like just like this little hot cop, and I was like, well, she kind of needed somebody who was just gonna give her a fun time.
Yeah.
She had all this uh trauma that she was dealing with. She didn't need
Right.
anything serious. So I was like, all right, she can go and hang out with Travis. But quickly he showed himself, and he really was a jerk. And
Yeah.
I do think Travis was victim in some ways, um, because of his upbringing, and like his mother was obviously an evil bitch. So like, who knows the things that Travis went through, which I do know that there's a book,
From his
Travis, from his
perspective.
perspective. And some people are like, I will not read. I hate Travis, and I get it, and I don't want to read it either. But
Yeah, but you got to give him a
gotta
chance.
give him a chance. You know, he
There's a
might
reason he is the way he is.
exactly, and like he was so hateful to Archer, um, which is not cool. But he had a little, like, I could see a little small chance of redemption for him.
Yeah.
However, I did like that Brie like totally shut him down. She did not give a fuck. She was like, I literally don't like you.
I know. I'm
Goodbye.
with Archer.
Yeah.
So I was the same. I was kind of here for it.
Mm-hmm.
As a new girl in a new town, you should explore
Exactly.
your feelings
She had
with
literally
these
nothing
men.
to lose.
No, she had nothing to lose. And at that time, she and Archer weren't.
Exactly.
They weren't anything.
Mm-mm.
If anything, I feel like Archer didn't want shit to do with her. I get it. It's because
Right.
he really didn't want to go there with her.
Yeah, but
out of fear.
she was forcing herself on him.
But she
that's
was
for sure.
forcing.
Forcing. Yeah.
I did think there was gonna be a little bit more between them. I'm not gonna lie, like a little more than just like a kiss. I don't know.
I also thought Archer was gonna be more mad that they kissed. Like, I was waiting for like that moment for him to like freak out.
He
that,
really didn't, did he?
no, and I like would have liked that. See, that's the brother's trope. Like, fight
That is
for
the
her.
brother's trope, and
But
it is kind of hot.
It is hot, but he was just like, Archer was just very that's the thing about Archer. He
He's
was too
too
good.
understanding.
Ain't no fucking way. A real man in real life would find out that this girl that you're in love with, she actually kissed your cousin, like, who's literally hates you.
Your
and
cousin
so mean
brother.
to you, your cousin slash brother, and he'd just be like, I understand.
I understand.
No.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. Go punch him in the face right now.
I said go.
Get out the door.
You. I don't know. But next question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So as we know, Bree and Archer, their relationship's kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at some points, at a lot of points, it gets steamy, very steamy.
Mm-hmm.
What are your feelings about their relationship, and how did you feel about the SMUT excerpts
Yes.
of the book?
Okay, so here it is.
Had to be said.
Here it is. I felt so cringe with the smut excerpts, and
I agree.
not at first. Okay, like the haircutting scene when they first started to get intimate, like I was like, all right,
Because
you
that
know,
was like our first little like
the little snippet of it when she's
taste
yeah,
of
yeah. So in the book, Archer's hair is like really crazy and messy, and he's just like this big hot man with crazy hair.
yeah, he was like shaggy.
He's like shaggy,
Yeah.
yeah. So she had to trim him up, and so she's like cutting her hair, and she's getting like really turned on by
Yes.
cutting his hair. And so it's like this very like intense moment,
Yeah, like they have
and that
sexual tension.
yes, that's okay with me. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
understand building the tension to make you understand the character's relationship
Right.
better,
Yeah.
or like even their first time being together. Like I get that it helps you build their relationship, but after so many times in great detail.
Right.
It was one cringy and two boring. Like I did not need to hear every detail of every single time that they fucked.
No, I was like, I'm here for it when it started.
Yeah,
And
me
then
too.
it
We
just
texted
didn't.
about it. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm loving this." Like they
And
were,
then it
but
just
no,
didn't stop.
no. I found, and this is something I literally have in my notes because I did not want to forget to say it, but that towards the second half of the book, it got so repetitive. The sex scenes for me got so
Yes.
repetitive. It no longer added value to their relationship for me. It was
At
just
all.
no. It was just describing every single detail of their every single time that they had sex. I understand that when you're like fresh in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you're like animals. Like you have so much fun together. You're
Right.
just so excited. Like I
Yeah.
get that, but it wasn't necessary to know every detail.
Yeah, it didn't drive the
No, the
plot.
plot, especially because I felt like Archer was such an interesting character. We could have, instead of all those pointless sex scenes,
Mm-hmm.
we could have got more about like, I don't know, Archer teaching himself sign language or like going out into the world. Like he was so complex and I loved him
Yeah.
as a character. We
Me
could have
too.
got more from him. Instead, we just got this like really cringy like the verbiage that the author used.
Delicious. That's what I have in my notes.
Yes.
I love the word delicious, but it was overused. I'm sorry. I just don't believe all that sex was that good.
No,
Also,
no,
my world exploded into a million points of light.
bitch,
Come on.
you had an orgasm. Shut up.
Come on.
No, I
I
can't
can't.
with the verbiage of describing the sex. Like and maybe it's just a personal preference, and maybe
Same.
it's because we're not huge smut readers,
Schmut.
smut readers. That I guess I'm more of a plot driven person. Like I like
Yeah.
so like all the small minute details just don't do it for me, and just just the way she described it, like my what she called it,
What were
she,
you about to say?
my nub. No, my bundle of nerves. No, Bree, shut up. That's how I thought. I was like, oh
I
my
know.
god,
Enough. Enough.
I've had enough
Never
of
ever say it again. Like, don't write that. Like, you wrote that. It went to your editor. It got sent back. And that was okay.
this. Yes, no. And here's the thing.
Multiple people read that and said, thumbs up.
Thumbs up to my bundle of nerves exploded into a million points of light. No, I'm not reading it anymore. I literally just started skimming through because I was like, I've had enough of this. And I have
It's
to say too,
just-
we're not prudes, okay? At fucking
No.
all. Give it all to me. Like I loved all
Yeah.
the Ravenhood series.
Yes.
Like it was,
I'm here for it.
and that whole book was just sex.
Yeah.
But it was just like so. The way the author wrote this was just too cringy for me. Like
I
can't.
agree.
I can't.
And that kind of answers one of our other questions.
Okay.
So we can kind of skip that one. The
Yeah.
question was, how'd you feel about the writing style? I think we agree.
hmm
It was just,
It was just.
it was
cringe.
just cringy.
And it was less about like her, I guess, the style of how she wrote things. It was like their dialogue. That's what was cringy.
Yeah, and
the way
like
they spoke to each
And
other.
the dialogue really pushes the plot. So
Exactly. Yes. It
It
was
is
too
hard.
much.
And honestly, I got to like 70, 80%, and it was like harder, or I say it was more challenging for me to finish the book because I
Mhm.
love the beginning so
I
much.
know it had so much promise
And I-
for me in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. Second chances. So there's a bunch of themes happening.
Mhm, mhm.
second chances, we see it a lot throughout the book.
Hmm.
How did you feel that the second chances affected the character choices?
So Archer and Bree both got a huge second chance,
Yeah.
really at life, just in meeting
Yes,
each
I agree.
other.
I have that in my notes as well.
Yeah. So just in meeting each other, they both had all this past trauma, and
Yep.
then in meeting each other, I think they found like solace and peace.
Absolutely.
One thing I saw some people say on Goodreads
Hmm.
was that Archer's development of like overcoming his trauma with Bree and having a second chance at life with through Bree was really developed. But Bree's was
Yes.
kind of like, so she literally watched her father die,
Hmm.
almost got raped, but then one sleepover with Archer and she stops having flashbacks and PTSD. Like,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah, like that really wasn't as developed. Like her second chance was just like she met this man, that's it.
The
There's
man
nothing
fixed her.
the man fixed her.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because she put all of her energy into fixing him
Into
that she
healing
like forgot about
Archer.
her own.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like she was distracted.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. I could see that. It's also a really good point.
Yeah.
Because I just like some of when I had ideas pop in my head for the question, I just had Bree's new life, Archer's new life,
Yeah.
Archer in the strip club. She forgave him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But can we really blame
I
him?
know we have to talk about the strip club
We
thing
do.
because he literally never had any experience with any woman besides like a blowjob from Brie before.
Yeah.
Like that was it. And
Yeah.
then he goes to the strip club where Travis like actually paid a stripper beforehand to sleep with him. So he like poor little thing. He gets taken
I
to the back. He's so
know.
confused. His dick is hard, but he's like
He doesn't know.
he's like, what's happening to me? Like he didn't know what to do. He's
I
like crying, but
know.
also like
Enjoying himself.
enjoying himself. Like he was confused. Then Travis literally dropped him off at his girlfriend's house. But this part was actually sweet because he was like, I was with her. She was like, what happened? And he was like, I was with her. But to him, he didn't know what that meant.
Right.
Like
So
he just meant in
Bree
the
thought
same
they
vicinity.
slept together.
Yeah, he meant like in the same vicinity as her.
And she's like, "So you were with her?"
He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm so sorry. And,
Yeah, I was with her.
and she's like, what the fuck? Like, she took your virginity. We didn't even get to do that. So, yeah, I guess, would you have forgiven
Okay,
Archer?
pause. Hold up. She says you let her take your virginity, or whatever the words are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Yes, I was with her."
Mm-hmm. And she
But
just,
he's so great at how she describes him in
E-
bed. But he
exactly.
thought that he got his virginity taken.
Exactly. That's
Is
another,
that really how that was?
no, that's another plot hole. There's no way that this man who has no experience with anything ever besides some magazines, that his
Crazy
challenged
Uncle Nate.
uncle, yeah, crazy Uncle Nate gave him some magazines, and now he's just like Magic Mike. No,
Plot hole. Okay. Last question. The book ends in a very happy ever after way. Archer becomes the owner of all the land.
it's just funny. Like
He
what?
got all the land. He's a successful businessman and he has a beautiful family. How did you feel about the ending of the book? Was there anything you would have changed?
So the ending felt really rushed to me, kind
Yeah.
of like Hallmarky. Like I just pictured him at the podium where he's like giving his speech. Thank you to the town
Yeah.
who once hated me, but now they all love me. Thank you for finally accepting me. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, it just was so. One thing I found very sweet about the whole book though was just the sign language aspect of it.
I enjoyed
Me too.
reading their conversations
Me
in
too,
sign
and I
language.
pictured them in my head, like
Same.
using their hands, and I just found it really, really sweet.
It is.
And I just felt like that was like a nice little attribution to like the community of people who have to
Yes.
speak sign language. Like I
Yes, for
found that
sure.
really interesting. So I was like, oh, it was sweet thinking about him on the podium like signing to a whole group of people, and there was like an interpreter saying his words. So I thought that was nice that he was able to like use his voice, I
Mhm.
guess. But it was really rushed. There was also one thing that I would really have liked to change. I was very happy when Archer went on his own for 3
Mhm.
months and left Brie because he recognized their codependency. I would have been really bothered if the book didn't like address their kind of toxic relationship because they were, even though they were loved each other so much, like it's not normal or I don't know, safe really to
Yeah.
depend on one person in that way,
Mhm.
like as heavily
And
as
I
they
feel like it
did.
was more Bree.
It
Bree was
was.
forcing that, in my opinion,
Me too.
more than Archer.
And not
which is
giving
why
him,
he chose to leave.
and she was so upset. She couldn't believe it. And like he needed that space. you can't just force him to be with you and only you when he's never had any life experience ever.
Kind of
Like,
selfish.
very selfish. And I thought he should have stayed away longer than 3 months. Like, I thought he should have.
He could have like filled her in though.
Yeah, he could.
Like,
Yeah,
I have to do this for me. I need to know I can do these things on my
for real. But she
own.
could have sent her a text.
Like, he just up and left her.
Yeah, that was
She's
fucked
like,
up.
what? Where did you go?
Yeah, she like goes into the slump of depression, which like okay, fair enough.
I understand.
Yeah, like he just left you with no explanation besides like a little letter, like
Yeah.
but still he could have updated her like I'm alive because she was
Yeah.
all worried about him. Fair enough.
He did
But like
push her to the arms of Gage Buchanan though.
Gage Buchanan at that party, I thought that was Endgame, Gage and Bree, but of course Archer walked in.
In a beautiful suit. Like,
To
what?
my man, thank you to my man. We were saying earlier, like Bree would have. She just dropped it low as soon as she seen him. Like,
Hey,
there he
thank you
is,
to my man.
But he should have stayed away longer. He probably should have been with like other people. I don't know. I'm just worried for their future. Like he's never had any experience. Like he might go through a midlife crisis one day. You know
He
how people
might.
do in like their 40s.
Yeah, he seems so happy though.
Yeah, he did.
I'm kind of happy for him though. I
Me too.
wanted Archer to have a good life. Bree,
Bree just by the end of the
good
book,
for you.
she was so clingy. She was so obsessed. But like Archer was such an amazing character.
Yeah.
I kind of get it, Bree. Like
Yeah, he's probably gonna pull all the baddies in town.
100%. Everyone's in love with him.
Everyone's
And you
in
know
love
what?
with
Now that we're talking more about
Archer Hale.
Archer Hale, like I kind of get why she was so obsessed with him. Like probably would have been too.
Real.
She could have took it down a couple fucking notches.
Yeah.
She needed to
Kind of how
relax.
she was in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was predictable.
Yeah.
You
The
know.
ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you thought about it.
Of course he gets beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that was our
That was the
discussion-based
analysis.
questions.
So I do have some takeaways from two people.
Okay.
One, my nanny / Brittany.
Okay.
So she texted me. She was not enjoying this book at all, and I knew she wasn't because she had texted me like halfway into it. She's like, "Are we reading the same book?" Like, because we were on our Facebook and our Instagram page talking about how much we love the book.
Yeah.
Because I did in the beginning, and she's
I
like,
did too.
I'm not feeling it, and so I was like, "Well, keep reading. I really am enjoying it."
Yeah.
So, but then like towards the middle, when I started changing my mind a little bit, I texted her and told her. So she's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna let you know when I finish." So this is what she said. Well, she asked on our Facebook page if we have any thoughts on listening to an audiobook versus reading the book on your own. And I was like, okay, why? Like, what are your thoughts? And
Mhm.
she said, okay, here's why. So she said, I wasn't in love with the book, but I think what made it worse was the voice of Bree on Audible because she listened to it
Oh,
on
so
audiobook.
interesting.
So she said, I really think I would have enjoyed it better if I had read it myself. The voice actor was so cringy and fake sounding, so it made the book way worse. This is a first, though, as far as really disliking an audiobook, even though some voices have aggravated me. The books that I read are usually just dark and the plot is interesting, so it doesn't matter. But for whatever reason, this love story on Audible was just awful listening to. She said, I'm
That
glad.
is so interesting.
I
love
know.
hearing this perspective.
Me too. She said, I learned my lesson though. I won't make the mistake of listening to a love story again because the sex scenes were unfucking believable to listen to. She said, this broad talked so sick. She said the narrator would like scream Archer with her aggravating voice. Like she'd be in the car listening to it and the
Yeah.
narrator would like scream Archer. She said the way she said my bundle of nerves and my little nub, I can't. And this virgin dude turned into Magic Mike overnight. Come on now.
Yeah.
So I get
Yeah.
like hearing those because the sex scenes for me were cringy to read. So like if you have this annoying ass bitch's voice,
Only imagine listening to it.
yeah. So I get that perspective.
Yeah.
Like fair enough. Go ahead. You have another listener?
I do have another
let's hear it.
listener. So this listener said this is one I would not recommend.
Okay. See, we have mixed reviews
I
on this
know.
book. We really do.
I know, it's so interesting.
I know.
I love this part. While I did feel drawn to the characters initially because of their believability on many levels, it was just super cheesy,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of what we've been saying. It's super
Yeah.
cringy.
Mm-hmm.
The plot felt very much like a Hallmark movie, small town, new girl, makeover, love story, hero. Whole town loves him in the end.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The damn sex scenes, vomit,
Yeah.
you know.
People felt very conflicted about this book.
Yeah. So Second half was a letdown, picturesque for closure, and weak story plot at the end because of it. I imagine the lake in the town was probably as shallow as the plot.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. We need to post that quote on our Instagram.
Yeah,
Probably as shallow as the plot. I love
I
that.
think that's
That is
so funny.
so funny. Oh my God.
I think this might be like one of my favorite things is
Mhm.
getting listener
Me too.
thoughts.
I love it
So
because it's so interesting. We all have different perspectives, but I think that's like the beauty of the whole reading
That's-
experience.
that's literally
Yep.
what we stand for.
And anyone can feel any way, and it's completely justified.
Absolutely.
Like just because you love something and I don't, like it's still. I love hearing everyone's
Yes.
perspective on it.
Me too.
So that brings us to our final listener,
Mhm.
which was someone who loved the book.
Oh, what a
Yes.
good spin.
Yes, our good dear friend Destiny. This is what she said. She said, "My first thought on Bree is how open-minded and non-judgmental she is. She truly saw Archer for who she was and not for what he thought he was. Also loved how she never treated him differently or like he was disabled. I really fell in love with him after she cooked for him, and at the end of that chapter, after they kissed, she said, 'We communicated 1,000 words without a single one being spoken,' which is very sweet. She said, 'Literally ripped me to pieces with how pure and genuine that moment was. She even wanted to make sure everyone else saw him that way, and she even pushed Travis to reach out to him, which did not turn out well. I was so angry after I thought he had sex with the stripper. But when when he told her he didn't actually have sex with her, I don't think I felt a bigger relief in my chest. I think that I read that part 2 times just to make sure, and then obviously everything after that part made my heart melt. I was really protective over Archer, which I was too.
Yes, for
She said,
sure.
I even got mad when he thought that something happened to Bree. When she went home and lost her phone and he couldn't get in touch with her. I was like, what the fuck, Bree? We were worried about you, bitch.' So true. I obviously was very invested in this book. Some points were super cheesy, but overall it was a very sweet book. And that's a very fair analysis.
Okay,
I would agree with that very last sentence.
me too.
Yes.
Would that be like your overall takeaway?
100%.
Did she just get it?
Super cheesy, but very sweet.
Yeah. I think overall I enjoyed the read. The
You enjoyed your
cringe,
time with it.
the cheesy. I enjoyed my time with Archer. Bree was too much at the end,
Mhm.
but I think that's kind of like a consensus we can all come to.
Yes, and I loved it in the beginning. I was like,
Me
this might be
too.
my favorite book ever. And then it changed, and that's okay.
It did.
I would not say that I hated this book at all. Like
No, I didn't hate it.
no, not at all. I liked it.
I
I'm
did too.
glad I read it.
I am
Not
glad
my
I
favorite,
read it
but I'm
too.
glad I read it. And I might recommend it to somebody who likes these type of books.
Oh yeah.
Who
If
likes
someone
like a light
likes-
love
yep,
story, this is perfect for you.
for sure.
There's one more thing though. The list.
The list.
The list. Okay,
I'm
so
excited for the list.
me too. So before we end the book analysis, we want to mention something that we did really love about the book.
Yes.
We talked about this a little bit earlier, but it was their texting scenes to each
Mhm.
other. So when Archer finally gets his cell phone, he and Bree are texting back and forth, and it was really cute. And we felt like they really got to know each other apart from just trauma dumping and having sex.
Right.
So when they were texting back and forth, they talked about their quote unquote list and what was on them. So for example, they would say, well, what's on your happy list? So we're going to just go through and say what's on our list as well. One of our listeners, Chantel, was in the DMs talking about everything she loved, and she said she loved the list.
That was something that I was immediately drawn to.
Me
As
too.
soon as I got to that part in the texting
Mhm.
scenes, I texted Colby and was like, "The list.
They're so
I'm
cute.
in love with the list."
I could have had a whole book of just like them texting each other. It was really cute.
That would have been
It was fun to read.
yeah. I was gonna say more engaging to read than
It would have been because
ending.
because a lot of their relationship was just trauma dumping
Mhm.
and then being sexual.
right
So like this was them actually getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So
on another level.
there was 3 lists that they talked about: a happy list, a calm list, and a gross list.
Yes.
So they just like listed a couple things on each list. So let's do ours.
Okay, sounds good.
Want to do happy first?
Happy list first.
Okay, you go.
Okay, my happy list. Things that make me happy.
Mhm.
Coffee chats, specifically on my mom's back porch.
Love.
Cooking dinner with Josh, then sitting on the couch and watching a TV show together.
Yes.
A matching set of PJs after an everything shower,
Oh, that's the best. Oh my
And-
God, that's so good.
and just like obviously spending time with family and friends.
Perfect.
Okay, what's on your happy list?
I love, and that's why I loved reading the list too, because they're so short and so specific, but they're so impactful.
Yes.
Like it's just it's just an entire scene you just set up for
Yep.
me. So here's my happy list: my children,
yes.
of course, my family, as in like my mom and how we go to her house every single Sunday.
Yeah.
We were literally just talking about this before we started recording. But like if I could live at my mother's house as a grown adult woman with all
Stop.
of my family, I
I
would.
feel the exact same way.
I know, we both do. Every time we text,
Why
like,
did we ever move out?
why? Every time we text, we're like, what you doing? At home or at my mom's?
That's the
Just
only
where
two
we are.
places we go.
Okay, next, my TV shows.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And finally, Reese's. Specifically, the king size that come in a pack of 4.
You are a Reese's lover.
Specifically, also, that have been in the fridge for a couple hours.
Ooh.
Yes. The best way to
See?
eat a Reese.
This
in
is
my
such a
opinion.
good way to get to know someone.
We should do this probably more. Like, we should do this maybe every couple episodes.
We should, but you know what? This would be such a cute, like, first week of school get to know you thing.
It would.
Just a list.
Gonna do that.
That would be so cute.
That would be cute. I'm gonna make that on Canva.
That's really cute.
Okay, the next list, calm list.
Calm
What's on your
list.
What is on your calm list?
Okay, on my calm list, journaling,
Of course.
duh, reading,
Of course.
moving my body in some kind of way
Mhm.
if I feel like I need to be calm,
Mhm.
and making a to-do list.
I love that.
Strangely makes me feel calmer.
Well, that's your list.
Okay, your calm list.
Okay, reading on my Kindle after having a good shower when both the
Ooh.
kids are sleeping.
Ooh, that's good. It's almost like
So
the more
good.
specific, the better.
The more specific, the better. Even sprinkle in a little fresh skincare and a water bottle next to you with ice in it.
Ooh, that's a good one,
Yes.
Colby.
Next, car rides, listening to podcasts.
Absolutely.
Self-explanatory. Finally, this is one very specific to my life, but it's so true. It's like my favorite calm thing, at least for at this part of my
Yeah.
life. It's going on walks in the evenings around like 6 o'clock with just me and my youngest in the stroller around the neighborhood.
Oh my gosh.
And I have my AirPod on, usually listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
And like my husband and my other kid are home, like doing their stuff.
I love that.
Yep.
That's such a good list.
I know.
Wait,
It's so fun.
y'all need to do this
I
because it
know.
is so fun.
It's like, I don't know, revitalizing kind of
It is.
to talk about.
And it makes you like dig deep.
Yes.
Like I'm not writing a whole sentence. It needs to just be
That's one
the
thing I
subject.
love so much about doing this podcast too, is because when do you ever just like really dig deep and talk? Like it gives us
know.
the chance to do that.
It does. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Last list is your gross list.
Gross list.
Can't wait for this one. What's on your gross list?
Okay, on my gross list. Sand from the beach in a condo I'm staying in. Like on the
Oh.
floor or if it gets in the bed.
Yes.
I hate that. When people look for the worst in every situation and hangovers.
Ugh. I feel all of those
I
so hard.
hate a hangover.
Me too. And it's like,
And I still do it to myself.
and still do it to yourself. And every time I have a hangover, I'm just like, I will never do this again. Lord, I promise. If you just take this headache away from me,
I know.
I will
Making
never take a sip
deals. I'm
again.
wheeling and dealing.
like praying for my life.
Oh, I'm
God.
tired of making deals.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad.
You keep on digging.
100%
Yours.
to all of that, especially the people who find the negativity in everything.
You could be like at the grocery store.
Yeah, and they're like, it's too cold in here.
I'm like, come
God.
on. People are doing their best.
Oh, do you try it?
We out here
Okay.
trying.
Here's my gross list. Hearing mouth noises from other people, like eating or spit in
Oh
their
my
mouth.
gosh. I can't.
can't. I'm cringing just think about it. If I can hear what you're eating in your mouth, I want you to know that I hate you
That's such a
deeply
good one.
in that moment. Like I can't. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yes. Food on a man's beard when he doesn't know. Like
When he doesn't
when he
know.
doesn't know.
That's the part.
God, it's the worst. It's got like a little drop of like mayo on the beard. Oh my god.
Milk.
No. No. And then finally, passive aggressive rudeness.
Oh, come on.
That number one. That's kind of like negativity too.
Yeah.
Like the same playing field.
For sure.
Passive aggressive rudeness. Well, I'm obsessed with lists.
I know. I think we need to. I agree. We need to do this like every couple episodes.
100%. Maybe we could post on our Instagram like a little like what is your list and see what
What's
people say.
your list?
Make like a compilation of other people's lists.
Yes.
That's so
let's do
fun.
it.
Well, that was the list.
That was the list. Okay, so that's going to lead us into our next book for our
Yes.
next episode. We are going to do Haunting Adeline.
Yes,
I
because
get it
apparently there's
confused.
2. It's a duo book,
Yes.
Hunting and
And
Haunting.
yes. Wait.
So the first one
is Haunting.
yes,
That's the book we'll be reading.
yes.
It's by H.D. Carlton. We absolutely have to see what all this fuss is about. If you're on Book Talk, you know that this series is everywhere. So that's what we're working with.
hmm
Our next book.
This one is very hyped up.
Yes, there's also something that I found very interesting.
Mhm.
There is a trigger warning.
hmm
So obviously, if you feel like you want to read that, it's
Yeah.
there. It was taken off of Amazon
Really?
because of the trigger warning.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
So it might be back up, but I read that on Goodreads.
Wow. So
Let me see real quick.
yeah, look it up. I wonder if we can still get it on Kindle.
You can get it on Kindle.
Okay, so you mean like a hard copy, like to order it, but it might not be on
It was
Amazon.
so weird. Hold on. I
So
can definitely yeah.
okay, so I did read the trigger page because my sister-in-law Victoria had it
Mhm.
at my mom's house. So she pulled it up on her Kindle, and it is like a long list of trigger warnings. It seems like this book is like a dark romance, so it's got like thriller vibes and also smutty
Yes.
darkness.
So basically, um, the manipulator, I can manipulate the emotions of anyone who lets me. I will make you hurt, make you cry, make you laugh and sigh. But my words don't affect him, especially not when I plead for him to leave.
hmm
He's always there watching and waiting, and it goes on and on and on. Like, that sounds so good to me.
Yeah, and I think it's like stalker is like one of the tropes. But
Yes.
stalker to lover. So that
Stalker
sounds
to
really interesting
lover.
to me.
So, it also says while it's not required, it is highly suggested to read the novella Satan's Affair first.
Okay.
Not required, though.
Okay, I might look into that though before.
And then it says this book was previously banned on Amazon due to the trigger warning. Please
Wow.
read reviews or go to the author's website.
Okay, so just heads up, you guys.
Yeah,
it's- look into what it's about before you read it.
Yeah,
And if you can
so
handle it, read it with us.
read it with us.
Yeah,
Because I think it's going to be good conversation centered
me
around
too.
it for sure.
And it's super popular. I know a lot of people who have already read it. So
Oh, same here.
you can handle it, guys. Come on,
We
let's
got
read
this.
it together. Also, we do want to do another mini episode in between, hopefully,
Yeah,
about
yeah.
our icks. List would be a great mini episode too.
List would be a good one.
Yeah, but we have to do the icks because
We
that's
do.
just going to be so fun. So we'll keep y'all updated on when we're going to do that.
Yes. Join
And-
our community.
Yes. So if you have any other suggestions on mini episodes or anything like that, follow us and interact with us on Instagram. I feel like that's where we've been like most active lately. It's
On
kind of like our
Instagram.
little niche. Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's our place.
Yeah, we really enjoy it over there.
Yeah, so follow us there.
Follow us. We're at Open Books Podcast. We're still on TikTok where we post our little clips at the Open Books Podcast, and also on Facebook. We have a Facebook page called the Open Books Podcast. Go and subscribe and rate and give us a written review. This is something that I want to start pushing people to do if they can, because I think that's how you kind of like continue to reach an audience.
Yeah.
Is like leaving a written review. So y'all
Help
go
you
leave us-
girls.
just tell us what you thought about the episode. Give us a little written review. Say hello. And I think you can
How
only
you
do that
doing?
on Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
So go leave us a little written review on Apple Podcast. And yeah, just interact with us because we really love this one. Was so fun to me to read listener thoughts.
Yes.
I loved that.
Me
So
too.
So let's keep that energy. What do you say we keep these good vibes
Let's
going?
Keep these good vibes
Keep them
going.
going.
But really,
Really.
don't be shy.
No, really.
Reach out to us. We love to respond.
Mhm.
Like, even if you've never talked to us a day in your life,
Yeah.
come
Please.
hang out with us. Like, that is the point of this podcast.
Yeah.
Come hang out with your girlies.
It's a book.
We're all friends
club.
now. It's a
Oh,
book club.
It's a book club. But also, that's why we kind of are incorporating the mini episodes, because if you're not a reader, that's okay too. Like we still want to
We're
be
for
friends.
everyone.
We're for the streets when it comes to podcasts.
She belong to the streets.
I belong to the podcast streets, and
Yeah.
we belong to y'all, and that's why we're doing these little mini episodes. So that way
Yes.
we'll talk about other things, not just books.
Right. You
We
want to
love our
shoot the
books.
shit about icks? Come hang
Shoot
out
the
with
chat,
us.
like we said.
You want to shoot the chat about a list?
We're
Your
girls.
happy list? Your calm list?
and especially your gross list.
And your gross list?
Hang out with us.
Hang out with us.
All right. Well, I think that was it. We'll be back very soon.
Sounds good.
And we love y'all. And we'll see you on the next one.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.